Well, hi everybody, I'm Paul Gross. Thanks for joining me. Glad you could be with me for my climate change webcast. This is a live broadcast, no scripts, no teleprompter, and no politics. We're just going to be talking about science here. And before we get started, a couple of very quick orders of business. First of all, I want to remind you that I'm going to be using the terms climate change and global warming interchangeably. There is no political implications. Don't read anything into that. It's just I use the terms interchangeably. And also, I want to repeat my promise. Some of you have heard this before. I want to repeat my promise that I will only bring you science directly from the science community. I will never, ever share with you any information that comes from advocacy groups. I am not accepting any information from those groups. I will not share any of that with you. Everything that I've shown you on Local 4 and here on clickondetroit.com has all been straight science, straight from the scientific community. So all right, let's get started here. We're going to start with the science itself, and then we're going to get into the indicators of climate change, some of the impacts of the change, get into some of the local impacts we're feeling right here, and talk a little bit more about the future. We're going to start by talking about the greenhouse effect. And the greenhouse effect has taken a real negative connotation over many years because of the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere that people talk about with a negative connotation. But there are really only three things that really dictate a planet's temperature. Another indicator. The 10 hottest years that our planet has had have all come since 1998. And I'm going to show you more in detail in a minute, but look at last year, 2015. Look at how much. If you compare that to the other 9 warmest years that our planet's had, look at how much 2015 is above all of those other years. And by the way, last year was the 39th consecutive year that the planet has had an above average temperature. And in case you're wondering, when's the last time that our planet has had a record cold year? Think about it. What do you think? The last time our planet has had a record cold year is over 100 years ago. Over 100 years ago. I'll let you just think about that. Interested in extreme weather? Sure you are. You want to know, like remember that flood we had in August in 2014? Stuff like that. Heavy downpours are increasing across the entire country. The greatest increase is here in the northeastern quarter of the country. New England, it's a 71% increase. Here in the Great Lakes and the Midwest, a 37% increase. So we're seeing, Chuck Gaediger likes to call it extreme extremes. We're seeing more of the big ticket precipitation events. And to break it down for some of you, some of you just want to see the actual data, not just a map. Here's the data. Days with 2 inches or more of precipitation, you see a very decided increase right here. This is a very noticeable increase from 1950. And yes, there are oscillations. There are years with more and years with less, but you have to look at the overall trend, and the trend is very noticeably upward. All right, what about 3-inch rain events? Even more extreme. Well, these are days with 3 inches or more of rain, and again, you see there's still an increase occurring with those extreme precipitation events. People ask, why is that happening? You know why? It's a very simple concept. As you warm up the planet, you evaporate more ocean water into the atmosphere. That becomes water vapor that's available for storm systems to tap into. So, if you have more water vapor in the atmosphere and you have a good-sized storm system, there is more water vapor available to turn into precipitation. And we're seeing an increase in these extremes all around the planet. This is just data for the United States. All right. Raise your hand right now if you have allergies. All right, how many of you raised your hand? Come on, this is a webcast. All right, if you have allergies, you need to see this. What I've tried to do here is simply present the science of climate change, the science of global warming. You'll notice I didn't mention politics in here because there's no room for politics in this discussion. It's simply the science that I presented to you, and I repeat my promise. I will never, ever present you with climate change information that comes from any advocacy groups. You're only going to get it straight from the scientists. So I hope you've gotten a lot out of this. We've been recording this, so we're going to put the link on clickondetroit.com, and once I have that link, I will tweet that link out and put it on Facebook, and we'll let you know so you can share it with your friends and family, or just watch this again if you want, just in case I went too fast through any of the points. So I hope you found this educational. I hope you found it interesting. I just want to wish you, on behalf of all of us here in the Local 4 Weather Office, wish you a very, very happy holidays and a very happy New Year. And with all the snow that we've just gotten, and with more coming this weekend, perhaps we are going to get that white Christmas that we've all wanted this year. Thank you again for watching.